Yeah, run the motherfucking lights up. We need 10,000 likes in this. Yeah.
Fuck a nigga lawns up. They be like, nah, don't put them damn guns up. Fuck.
What's up, Starter the Crew? It's yours truly, Snore that dude. Right now, we better get into that final hours of the final 16 and a half hours of Pop Smoke. My boy Publish X made this video, man. You know, I always come back to support my boy. Been rocking with him since the beginning. You know, when he first started doing these, I just been rocking with him. I always compliment on his editing, storytelling. I always compliment, like, you know, man, I show my boy love every time. Locked in. Anyway, this was sent to my DM. About 3 times. Yeah. Originally to video down in the description. Also, my Twitter will not be in the description as well. Run them likes up! We need 10,000 likes on this motherfucker! Yay! Let's get into it.
2020, at about 4:30 a.m., Pop Smoke was shot and killed inside of his Airbnb. He wasn't alone, but at the time of the robbery, he was inside the shower. 4 teenagers would storm the house that night before the youngest, a 15-year-old, would fatally shoot him. Pop Smoke was just 20 years old at the time. He was officially pronounced dead at 5:12 that morning, but it would end up taking months to fully solve this case. TMZ reported his death at 1:24 p.m. on February 19th. If we look back at his last post on Instagram, we can see exactly how his day played out.
Let's see what you got in. It better be Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke. Don't fuck around.
Take the room.
It all started with this post around 11 a.m. on February 18th, just 16 hours before his death. He landed in California and drove to his Airbnb in Beverly Hills, where he posted it on his story, showing off the backyard. He was going to be in Los Angeles for a 4-day vacation. With him was his longtime friend Mike D, and after the two got comfortable, he updated his story with the next post of him getting his hair cut. This was followed with a picture of him relaxing by the pool before getting ready to go shopping that evening. In the top left, a tag showing Beverly Hills. So far, the day was playing out normal, and nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary. However, the very next post would change the events of that night. That post actually comes from Mike D. Around 4 p.m., a series of pictures were uploaded on both their accounts. On Pop Smoke's Instagram showed 3 back-to-back pictures of him and Mike together, with Mike holding a stack of cash. On Mike's page was another photo, and nothing seemed wrong with it at first, but this picture had 2 fatal problems. The picture was of Pop Smoke and Mike, with him holding the same stack of money, but in the top left corner the entire home address is almost visible, with only the first number missing. If someone were to be looking for Pop Smoke, all they had to do was find the first number between 1 and 9. But the worst mistake would come after Mike geotagged the post, showing the location on Instagram Maps. This was something they simply couldn't afford to do. An average person.
So hold on, I just thought that shit just give yo not direct location, but like the city you in. You know, I'm not a real good Instagrammer. Despite having like, oh no, 50-some thousand, I'm not a real good Instagrammer. So I really don't be knowing stuff, right? But look, that shit give you precise locations. Because that's the case, Pop Smoke posted it twice before. Or is it different from the story than the timeline post? You know what I'm saying? I know the experts in the comment sections already on my ass like, how did you not notice this? Just listen, bro. Just listen, bro. I don't spend all day on Instagram, so relax and help a brother out. Anyway, let's get into it.
Person can get away with this, but for a high-profile rapper holding wads of cash, this was unacceptable. Despite these posts, the afternoon would carry on seemingly normal, but a few keen eyes had already begun connecting the dots. At 5 p.m., another update to Pop Smoke's story would be added. This one showed him driving once again with the same stack of cash and a diamond-studded Rolex on his wrist. Now there was a location and a motive, and for them, that was enough.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna tell you something. When them boys are broke, they desperate. They already doing shit. They already not living right. But when they feel like they got the lick, oh, they coming. They coming to see you. They not giving a fuck. They already on their wits end. You know what I'm saying? They already on their wits end. They come to see about that. They like about 30 grand in cash, 20 grand in cash. They come to see y'all about that. Probably 15,000 because bundles of fuck, whatever. They come to see y'all about that 15. They come to see about that rollie. That it's gonna be hard to fleece off on some legit shit. It's gonna be hard to fleece off on some legit shit. But some nigga in the streets will pay 10 bands for him. It's whatever. But yeah, they coming to get that lick. Like I said, in California too, it's a high cost of living. Like, what? Them niggas they need a lick. They need one. They coming to get you for sure. But like when you come to some money, like on some money, like shit like that gotta cross your mind. Like I'm looked at as the lick by everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm looked at as the lick by everybody. Bitches, niggas, family, cousins that you didn't even know was your cousin. Like, you know, yeah, just talk to the people that didn't even know. You know, yeah.
For a few hours, Pop Smoke didn't update any posts, but we know he was out shopping. Shortly after taking the photos in the driveway, Mike and Pop got into the white Range Rover and drove from the Airbnb down Santa Monica Boulevard before stopping at the Amiri store. Pop Smoke was getting ready for his Meet the Woo tour starting in March and was taking his last week on vacation. His Meet the Woo 2 tape had just dropped weeks prior and he was still celebrating its success, so it was only normal for him to go shopping and reward himself. After all, he was in Beverly Hills, a place known for its luxurious shopping. Just 7 hours before his death at 10 p.m., he returned back to the Airbnb and updated his story again, this time with a view of the city at night from the backyard. But his stay was short. He still wanted to record new music that night. At 11 p.m., Pop Smoke would upload a seemingly harmless video, showing some of the shopping he had done earlier that day. Unfortunately, this post would be the third and final mistake. The 3 Amiri bags shown in the video would leak sensitive information. The tags on them revealed the Airbnb's full address, and now he was completely vulnerable. A talent manager at his label spotted the error and asked him to take the post down. But what Pop Smoke didn't know was that 2 teenagers had already been keeping an eye on his stories. The 2 men who were taking notice were from the well-known Hoover gang in LA. They took note that Pop Smoke was close by, only about 20 minutes away. Their cell phone records showed that around midnight they began looking at the address on maps and scouting out the location. They decided they would make a move that night. At 1 a.m., Pop and Mike left to record at East West Studios near Sunset Boulevard, just a few miles away. While he was working on new music, the 2 teens were working on their plan. According to the Los Angeles Times, at 2 a.m., a black BMW would show up on surveillance outside the home. The car rolled past the house and circled back before stopping. It showed a passenger getting out and sneaking toward the back of the house before quickly returning to the car. At the time, too many people were in the home, and Pop wasn't even there. The car then sped off, heading back to where they came from, where they recruited 2 more teens to help in the robbery. The hills were only about 20 minutes away from South LA, so they all decided to switch cars and try returning later. Around 3 a.m., Pop left East West Studios. He got in the Range Rover with Mike and a woman he met that night named Amelia Rose. They would then drive back, unknowing of the events about to take place. Pop and Amelia went upstairs to the master bedroom and Mike to a room down the hall. Around the same time, the 4 teens had already swapped cars to an Infiniti sedan and began looking up the address on Zillow. Through pictures, they now had a better understanding of the home's layout and the location of the master bedroom Pop would most likely be staying in. Pop, who
When them boys went to Zillow, but I tell y'all, boy, they desperate. Ain't no hood nigga getting on Zillow. No hood nigga, street niggas getting on Zillow. They not interested in buying houses. Alright, let me just leave it alone. Let me just relax.
Who was now in bed with Amelia, got ready to end his night with a shower. His last activity on social media were these Twitter replies to a few fans. About 20 minutes passed and the Infiniti would pull up, lights off. They snuck through the backyard and climbed up the balcony to the 2nd floor. Amelia was the first one to notice the movement outside, but before she could react, the house was stormed by 3 men with masks and guns out. They put a gun to her head and advised her to stay quiet, taking her phone and purse while the other 2 went into the bathroom to confront Pop Smoke. They told Pop to take off his watch and hand it over, to which he did. But then Pop lunged at the gunman and attempted to fight back when he was shot in the chest by a 15-year-old. Amelia screamed as Pop hit the floor and the 2 men kicked him repeatedly. In a final attempt to escape, Pop got up and ran toward the stairs where he was shot 2 more times in the back. The 3 men then stormed out of the house. Mike was woken up by gunshots ringing through the halls, to which he found Pop at the bottom of the stairs and immediately called 911.
Hello? Hello? I'm gonna tell him to wait for LAPD. Alright.
Medical arrived 20 minutes later and took him to Cedars-Sinai where he passed
20 whole fucking minutes. Then they gotta rush him to the hospital. 20 whole minutes. Now, I don't know about the LA locations and how close the hospital was. I'm gonna leave that up to y'all. Y'all gonna give me the information. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you boys. But 20 whole minutes. You better off putting motherfucker in the car and taking them there. Because nobody got 20 minutes to wait. Them minutes are critical. Especially with chest shot, 2 back shots. Critical. Critical. Shit like that really kind of like irks me in a way. Like, 20 minutes, nigga? I might as well just be bullshitting while I'm driving on the road and not pull over to the side. You niggas lollygagging already. Let's lollygag some more.
Passed away just 1 hour later. At the same time of his passing, his killers were already searching up the local news to see if they had reported it yet. They even looked up the price of Pop's stolen Rolex, the only item they made it out the house with. In total, they got just $2,000 for it, split between 4 people.
That's $500. Niggas did all of this for 500 bones? Not a real bag. 50, 60 bands a piece. Not the real bag. $500. Left hella breadcrumbs and they phone and shit. I get it. These niggas are young. They was what? Teenagers. Off their age, do we have to accept their ignorance of not knowing that they're like, how can I word this? Can we accept their ignorance? It's on the whole situation. They going to nigga house, breaking the injury, or what's this when you got weapons? It's a home invasion at that point. Cause breaking the entries, you ain't got no weapons, but you coming in there stealing shit. I think home invasions is just like you in there with the pistol and you still stealing shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but help me out. Cool. Take a nigga watch. Easy 30 ball for the watch. This is how I know these niggas. It's an easy 30 ball. They probably could have got the 15 ball for him for the right player. 15 ball. Cool. They end up knocking the nigga off. RP Pop Smoke. For a watch, they got $2,000 for it. And they had to split between 4 people. Like I said, my math ain't the best, but that's $500. I'm just trying to just grasp the whole situation, man. Like, these niggas threw a life away and threw all of their lives away. Because they in California, they probably gonna get 25 to life. They got all this, from the sounds of it, they got all this evidence to know it was them niggas that did it. Phone records, Zillow records, nigga, Safari browser records. They probably know what porn they watched the other day. Or, yeah. They probably know what, yeah. I don't know, man. This whole situation is kind of just like, what the fuck? And it's like, I really ain't know too many details before this video. I just knew Pop Smoke passed away on some robbery shit. I didn't know all of them were teenagers. I just knew one of them was kind of young. That's about as much details I knew. You know, I ain't really look into it too much. You know, I probably seen a post or something on the blog, but it's like, I don't be sitting there reading shit. Like, I just keep scrolling. I don't be on Instagram like that. So it's like, and then on top of that, we get, this shit happened 2020, 2021. When this shit happened? 2020. Pop Smoke. That shit happened February 2020. This shit happened February 2020. It's 2 years ago. About to be 3. I'm getting to his. I forgot shit. You know what I'm saying? But man, let's go ahead and keep it going, man. It's just everything is kind of like shocking. Like, you niggas really did this shit for $500.
Despite having cell phone,
Like, cause 20 years down the way, 5 years down the way, if not all of them, at least 1 or 2 of them gonna regret that shit. If not all of them, 1 or 2 of them niggas gonna regret that shit. They gonna get 40 years old. Like, bro, I really did this shit for $500. You know, they gonna be in the institutionalized, so they don't still think $500 some bread. Whole time. $500 is nothing. And I'm not saying like I'm just a rich whatever, or I got all this money, so $500 is nothing. It's just like, compared to real life shit, because I know some of you guys' rent is $1,500. You blow that each month just to live. You know what I'm saying? Y'all grocery bills are probably $500. Or your eating expenses is probably $500. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's nothing. You literally eat $500 away. I'll be happy as hell eating that shit away too. I ain't gonna lie. With a smile on my face. Kool-Aid smile. Fuck is you talking about? But yeah. So yeah.
phone and internet records, authorities didn't have hard evidence to make arrests for almost 3 months. It wasn't until the 15-year-old was arrested for an unrelated crime. But because police already had their eyes on him as a person of interest, they rigged his jail cell with recording devices. Eventually, he told his cellmate he'd taken part in robbing Pop Smoke and that he pulled the trigger killing the rapper. The driver of the vehicle was arrested as well and eventually told his
to the YouTube lawyers, that legal?
cellmate the same details of that night, confirming the story, initially having no intentions of shooting him, but when Pop put up a fight, they panicked and shot him. Corey Walker was the 19-year-old who stayed in the car that night, and Keandre Rogers was the 18-year-old who led the charge into the house. They were both charged with murder with special circumstances and will remain in prison indefinitely. The 17 and 15-year-old were charged as juveniles for murder and robbery, and they remain unnamed to this day due to being minors. Pop Smoke was tragically taken too soon before he had the chance to grow to become the face of the drill movement. The tragedy of Pop Smoke's death lies in the fact that we can see his last day with us through his posts, but these are the same posts that would get him killed. Fans would express their hurt for the death of Bashar, and to this day, over 2 years since his passing, his music is still loved and being discovered by people every day. Rest in peace to the Wu.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy. I'm just sitting back here thinking, like, you know, my experience with Pop Smoke music, man. My first video was Welcome to the Party. I feel like that's everybody's first Pop Smoke video. Especially if you do this YouTube reaction thing. You know, Welcome to the Party is probably your first Pop Smoke video. But what I'm trying to get to is I told the internet I ain't like it. And honestly, I did at the time. I didn't. You know, it took Dior to come out for me to be like, all right, now this shit's a vibe. This shit's a pop. And it just took Dior to come out. And I actually enjoyed that album he dropped. Not the one he dropped while he was alive, but that first one he dropped when he had passed. I enjoyed that shit. You know what I'm saying? That actually introduced me to that new drill wave. And I seen the new wave coming with the whole you know, the type beats. I just seen the wave coming. I told my bro, like, well, this about to be a wave here in a minute. 2 years later, we still hearing them beats from niggas outside of New York. So I told that boy that. But anyway, let me know how y'all feel about this video. Let me know about the whole Pop Smoke situation, man. I really thought them boys got a hold of like some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like made the robbery and the whole situation worthwhile, and got a hold of the nigga watch all the wads of cash that the rappers carry around. You know, rappers are known to carry around 40, 50,000 just for the fuck's sake of it. So thinking them boys got a hold of that, like really, like made it work. But $500, and it's like, damn, you know, you niggas took a. I ain't gonna keep speaking on it, but yeah, it's your boy Snorm. I'm gonna get up out of here, bro.